progress. I'm sitting
It's
in
actually episode 24.
No, it's not. It's 23. Throw this
XX9.
God. So
27, maybe?
Nope. Obviously, it's episode
18.
53.
18, that's right.
That's it. All right.
All of you guys
So
shut up.
everyone's
You're all wrong.
So this time I'm sitting in a weird spot, so it's going to be weird actually doing this. But, whatever. They don't know that. On my left we have
Ian.
Andrew.
Mitch.
And as always, I'm Jake. I'm the lovable teddy bear of the group.
He remains Jake.
I remain Jake. So you may have noticed, I'm going to start this off because I'm actually really excited about it.
I mean, you are the host. You have as much right to
I
start
hope
off
one of these
as
times you're like, and as always, I am Carl.
Your beloved
Just kidding, I
host.
was wearing a fake mustache.
I pull it off and everyone's like, oh!
Yeah, we're all
And
like
our
that.
listeners remain entirely confused because you can't see any of that.
Andrew like stands up, he's like, you're my roommate. I feel so betrayed. So
whole time.
over the past few days, your beloved host Mitch here, he has been doing us a great favor. He's been basically spearheading our YouTube account, finally getting something on there. And I cannot for the life of me remember what that link is. So Andrew, will you look that up for me real quick while I talk? So he spearheaded our YouTube account and he put up we George Lucas'd the shit out of our
That's
old
the term
episodes.
I was using, yeah.
Yeah, and we put
I redid episode 1, and I've been calling it like fully remastered Blu-ray edition of our episode 1.
when really all it
With
is
missing scenes.
it's a YouTube video with funny pictures in it that go
Excellent.
along with what we're talking about.
And it's on YouTube.
Which that's really all I wanted.
Right.
That's really anyone can
Oh,
expect at this point. So yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
What I find funny about doing it like this, though, because I've been starting with episode 1 and I'm planning on just going up from there, is because a lot of our plugins are really late.
Yeah.
But that's alright. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
We're on YouTube.
So we can get some clarity, you can find our YouTube page at youtube.com/whipthepodcast. That's WIP the podcast.
No
One
H.
word.
No H.
Don't like whoosh, the podcast.
W-
It's
WIP.
just like work in progress, but an acronym.
Yeah.
So
It's an
exactly what it
acronym
is.
for those who don't know.
and I cannot begin to tell you
Don't even.
how fucking frustrating it was finding a good end URL for that page.
Yeah.
I remember making it. It took me like 10 fucking tries. I tried Whip Podcast, Work in Progress Podcast. Fucking all of them were taken. So I had to do Whip the Podcast.
Well, that's
really
how
needed-
kill the competition.
You really need to have some foresight and decide, like, 5 years ago that you were going to have a YouTube page someday
should've.
called
Yep.
Work in Progress.
Yep.
Because you know that
I really
the
should've.
fucking Rooster Teeth guys for Achievement Hunter, they have they have the YouTube page for youtube.com/let's play.
Yeah.
Because Bernie just like sat on that for like 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Wow.
He's like, this is mine. I'm keeping it.
Good lord. Good
That's
foresight
fucking
on
brilliant.
it.
I don't know
Damn.
how you came up with that.
I mean, I'll do that later.
It's time to just start
We've got-
taking YouTube.
So what are you
Yeah.
super excited?
I'm just
Is that-
really excited about
That was what I'm super
eventually
excited
doing this episode for YouTube when it's all of us being like, we're now on YouTube, and we've been.
Yeah, we've been on YouTube.
that
Now
point.
we have a video.
Now
on
we have a
YouTube.
video of it.
One video.
Yes.
But it's nice to have. A lot of people don't actually. I say this knowing that SoundCloud is one of the most frequented music sites on the internet. A lot of people don't actually use it though. Like just generic Joe Schmo people, they're more familiar with YouTube. So it's nice to have, be like,
salt
if you don't
of the
wanna-
earth.
Yeah, if you don't want to go to this weird orange and white website that's SoundCloud, you can just go to YouTube, and we're on there too.
Everybody knows.
It'll
YouTube.
take us a while to get caught up, but we'll be there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was basically what I was really excited about because I saw that he posted on the Facebook page, hey, we're on YouTube now, and I like almost shat my pants, and I was like, that's awesome. Also, there's a picture of Brandon taking a selfie in it, and it's just the funniest
You also
fucking
should
thing in the
know,
world.
my computer,
We should all have to take selfies.
We need
for
to take
Mitch-
a couple
for Mitch
pictures.
to
Oh
use.
my god, I'm going to take
Oh
the
my
most
God.
rad selfie
We
in
need
the
to-
world.
We all need like
Just-
5 or 6 selfies apiece, so he can at least throw some variety.
Yes.
Exactly.
Obviously.
You should also know, my computer is kind of not that great, and so the upload
Asterisk.
it took forever to actually like save it as a final like WMV file,
Yeah.
and I clicked upload, and it said, "All right, you are now uploading a YouTube video. This will take you about an hour and a half."
Oof.
And I was like,
They're big ass videos.
"Oh yeah,
Yeah.
well that first one's about what, like an hour and
Hour
20?
20.
Yeah. Not to
And
mention
so-
that it's the audio on top of all of the pictures that you put in.
There aren't that many
So-
pictures, but
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
not to spoil it. But apparently it slowed down our internet in the house because like minutes later, my roommate Josh comes up to me. He's like, "Are you doing something on the internet?"
Because I'm going to kill you.
Because I was hoping to do something. I'm like, yeah, I'm
Do something in quotation.
And he just goes, I'm like,
trying to stream some porn and
God.
really.
I can't watch
slowing it
Brenda take it in the ass because you're uploading your shitty video.
It's just like in buffering, out buffering.
I hate this buffering.
I can't do
I
it.
can't jack off to
do it.
this. at
Even
all.
my ads for buffering are taking.
Isn't that the fucking worst when like the ad loads perfectly on a YouTube video and you click skip now and then the video takes like 10 minutes?
Are we still
Yes.
Are we talking about YouTube videos or?
Because I get the opposite.
any video? Why are you watching porn with
YouTube.
ads?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've never encountered a porn site that's like, watch this ad first.
I am merely making sure that we are being clear on which videos we're talking about.
Does it matter?
I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe
I mean,
someone
that's-
does.
You get Walmart
fair.
ads on porn?
That would be weird.
Yeah.
I see you like
Coming soon to
Debbie Does
Walmart.
Dallas 10. You may also
Have you
like
considered
this
buying-
body pillow that's shaped like a woman.
This body pillow, which has the words Duck Dynasty written all over
Oh my god. Oh lordy lordy.
Just making this harder for
I
me to think
can't.
of images for when I finally put this one up on
Exactly. Yeah. You're like,
I can't use anything!
I can't be
Random
that
stuff.
obvious. So yeah, that was my big news. We haven't done a Vine in a while, which is probably my fault.
We need to
You-
do the
yeah,
one
you
I
sent
came
me.
up
We need to vine up.
Yeah, and we won't
No.
say it because that'll ruin the surprise.
I
but
agree.
if we can do that one, that'll be fine. But
Yeah, we should never probably describe a vine on the air because that'll basically
Well, it's the
ruin
same
all
as the-
6 seconds
like
of it.
describing a YouTube video, it'll ruin it all, and it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like I saw this
we-
really
we-
red
we
fire
should-
hydrant one time. Great news. Moving on.
We should,
Good story, bro. Tell it again.
Yeah.
I think there's a video in there somewhere.
Look,
You're not me like looking at it and you know.
Can we
Yes.
make that now?
Oh, God no.
No, we can't do
Talking
that.
about it?
Because we talked about it. So now we can't do
Damn.
it.
Now it's
It'll be the
fine.
lost vine.
Exactly. I'll post it when we miss it.
The lost.
What were you saying? We need.
I
to
was just saying we should make more of those.
No, yeah, dude, I'm fine with that.
That's all I
agree.
got.
And feel free to make them without me. Like, if you guys have a funny idea,
Good.
fucking make it. You have the fucking information, so
I have it.
I'm gonna hijack this shit. Hey, speaking of movies, kind of.
do it.
That's what we just saw.
What
Was
did you
it?
just
Was it
see?
Wolf of Wall Street?
It was.
Okay.
How
Wolf
did
of
you
Wall
know?
Because you like
Did you
talked to
see
me
a
about it
trailer
5
for
minutes
the
ago.
new Wizard of Oz movie?
No.
I did.
There.
That was
dog
great.
cut out.
Wait, new
Is
Wizard
it
of
Leia
Oz movie.
Michelle or some
It's
shit?
Dan Aykroyd. He's
Yeah,
going to be a voice in it. That's
yeah,
the only
Lea
reason why I'm
Michele is
interested.
Dorothy.
Is it like a sequel to Oz?
It's like an
Yes.
animated Oz
It's like an
thing.
animated sequel to Wizard of Oz, is what it looks like.
That's
With Lea Michele as Dorothy.
I don't think it's weird. I think it's stupid.
I do
it's
too.
gone below weird.
It's crossed the weird threshold into
Yes.
fucking
The
stupid.
only reason why I'm kind of interested is one of the voices is Dan Aykroyd. The other one that I'm interested in is Kelsey Grammer.
Oh yeah,
Because I love seeing those two show up in
The
it.
last time Dan Aykroyd did a voice in an animated movie was in the
Yogi
Yogi
Bear?
Bear movie,
Which
and
is
he
okay.
almost had the Yogi Bear voice.
but he didn't quite.
Like,
know.
no,
I
like, you would
agree.
listen to it,
Wasn't Justin Timberlake boo
He
boo in
is.
that?
yeah, he was. They like they like increased his voice octave like 2 times, and then he was just boo
Which
boo.
isn't necessary because
No,
he can
'cause-
increase his own octave.
Yeah, very very
He's a
high.
singer.
But it's like you hear Yogi Bear in that movie like and this is gonna cross sentences, but you hear it like at a glance. Kind of, and you're like, oh, that's Yogi Bear. But then you watch the movie and you're like, that's almost Yogi Bear.
That's Dan Aykroyd pretending to be
Yogi
Yogi Bear.
Yeah, because he got like the actual the inflection and stuff
Yeah,
down.
he gets the
but
voice,
his
but the
accent
voice
is still
isn't
there.
quite- yeah.
If it helps,
His
though,
pronunciation,
I'm
right?
sure
After-
that's not why that movie failed.
After that trailer came out, though, anytime anyone mentioned Justin Timberlake, I'd immediately go Yogi. And some
That's
people got
fantastic.
it and liked it. Other people just went, "What are you talking?"
So do you want to talk
So,
about
yes.
Wolf of Wall Street on here? Or do
What
you want
did
to
you
save it
see?
for your guys' movie podcast?
Well, Caitlin didn't see it, so we'll just talk about it now. Fuck it.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I'll probably talk about it again. 'Cause
Well,
it was
yeah.
really fucking good.
No, yeah,
Well,
that's
and,
nice.
like-
and we can save spoilery talk for the movie podcast.
There you
Because
go.
again, that's part of the idea of
Don't worry about spoilers.
By the way, coming soon, movie podcast that's like comics and coffee on Work in Progress.
That doesn't have a name.
As
but it
we
will.
Yeah, it doesn't have a name.
but it's totes gonna happen.
totally
I'm
gonna
telling
happen.
you, milk and movies. That's what you gotta do.
I said movies and muffins,
I have
but
a
you know.
mouthful
That's
of beer and I
bad.
apologize.
But the whole time you'd be like, "Oh, I saw Wolf of Wall Street.
Are there any
This
other?
muffin is delicious."
Are there any other M
It's
words?
nuts.
You talk
Oh,
Movies
my
and
God.
Movies and milkshakes.
Movies
Actually,
and Mitch.
if that means we'll always have milkshakes,
I come in
Yeah,
for
hands
like,
down.
you invite me for 1 minute to be like, "Hi, I'm Mitch, doodly-doo," and then leave.
movies and milkshakes.
actually, Ian, if Comics and Coffee taught us anything, it's that if we call it movies and milkshakes, we will never have milkshakes.
it'll just be
It'll
beer.
probably be replaced with liquor.
It'll
Yeah.
just be beer and water and soda.
Probably. Maybe like mustard
And
pretzels.
2 of those things can kill you. So
I'm
Water.
It's,
Water.
it's water. Water is
Water
the-
can kill you
Yeah,
if you
drink enough of
submerge
it.
it.
So
Anyway.
Speaking of like beverages, this is the smallest excerpt like ever. We can get back on track in a second. I bought a fountain drink from break time the other day. As I like walked out a little, I kind of like overfilled a little, so it's spilling into the rim a bit, you know.
yeah, you
Oh,
you're not
no.
drinking
So
it.
I'm walking home and I don't realize that it's kind of like pouring out a little bit, and it pours over my fingers, and I can literally feel it start to freeze.
Yeah,
I can feel it clinging to my skin the second it pours over. I'm like, oh shit.
I love that shit.
See, I've
Oh
just
my
been
God.
getting it because, like, you know, all the sniffles because it's getting cold.
Right.
I'll walk outside and feel like, ah!
Right in the
Well, I
nose.
guess I can breathe again. And then I'll get back inside and it'll thaw and I'll be like,
Because it was like 0 most of yesterday, wasn't it?
It was
below
below
it
0.
was below.
We hit
fucking
negative
0.
26
Did
at
you
about
really?
2 in the morning. I know that because I
Was
woke
that with
up.
wind chill? or
That
just
was
like-
wind chill.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The actual
Like,
temperature was negative 11.
Right.
That's
It's
still,
Yeah.
butt fucking cold.
I think even fucking Liberty High would close the shit like that.
Dude,
no.
day school's
No,
been
no,
closed
no.
for 2 days
Absolutely
just
not.
because of the cold.
I've been
because-
talking to one of my
absolutely.
kids also. Apparently, like, they tried to make, I think they said Monday, not a snow day. Either Monday or Friday. Like, when did it actually snow again for this?
Sunday morning.
Somewhere.
They were trying to make Monday not a snow day, and apparently, according to him, 14 or so accidents happened. So now they're a lot more lenient now.
Yeah.
This, at least this season.
Well, it might be due to the fact, as we have said before, that they don't pave the fucking
At all.
roads
Oh,
in
man.
Springfield anymore.
I'm sorry that we're pulling this away even more. We'll get back to Wolf of Wall Street in a second.
Let's just keep going.
I have the
I
perfect
don't
fucking
fucking
story
care.
that I can just rail on the city of Springfield.
Check
because
out Movie Podcast.
every fucking
Talk
time they cannot do anything that makes me happy. So first and foremost, it is not uncommon knowledge that the city of Springfield has really shitty sewer systems.
Yeah.
They back up like a motherfucker when it drizzles. And
Are
we
you
were
the one
actually
that said that-
we were ordered by the state of Missouri to fix
Yeah,
our
like,
sewer systems.
That's pretty
Finally.
bad.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
have the worst sewer systems in the state of Missouri.
I wish the state of Missouri would tell us to fix our fucking roads.
Exactly, and that's the
That'd be
next
nice.
thing. We had to drive.
nice.
Sonia and I had to drive to Nixa yesterday to pick up her mom from work
God.
because she couldn't drive her truck because her truck could not handle the snowy roads.
Yeah.
So
Probably couldn't start. She
Yeah,
was so
it's-
fucking cold.
well, her clutch is also held together with literally a paper clip. So
oh,
you know,
Wait,
it runs though. It runs fine.
Was this the truck that, like, I helped you move in?
Yes,
That's a scary truck.
yes, it is.
Oh, Lord. So no
So
driving that truck.
Yeah, no driving that truck. So she got a ride to work in the morning, and we had to go pick her up. And we're driving on Springfield roads, and it takes us 40 fucking minutes to get out of Springfield alone because roads are terrible, and it was rush
yeah.
hour. And as soon as she works in Nixa, there's an overpass you go under that is literally the overpass is the dividing line between Springfield and Nixa.
Huh. Okay.
One side of the overpass is, it's just really, really packed down snow. So it's basically just ice at that point.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to drive on. You go under the overpass. Obviously, there's nothing on the road there because there's an overpass.
Right.
And on the other side,
The Oasis
the road
overpass.
was literally dry. It
On
wasn't
the
even wet from melted snow.
on
it
the
was
Nixa
just
side?
on the Nixa side.
Oh, for God's sakes.
And we kept going. Nixa still had plows out. Their fucking roads were,
Holy
I shit you
shit,
not,
man.
dry except for maybe the occasional tire print that was wet.
That's
like they'd
awesome.
run through a side of the road puddle maybe.
Sure.
Their plows were still out, going and doing shit, spreading salt
my
on the
God.
roads. But Springfield,
That pisses
fuck
me
no.
I think this stupid fucking idea that it's good. It's good to have all this snow because it adds to your traction. I don't
No.
believe that.
No, it
for
doesn't.
a fucking second.
No, it
You know what I
doesn't.
believe is that it costs less to pay for plows.
Exactly.
That's
Well,
what I
Pay
believe.
for plows to pay for salt.
Yes.
In fairness,
I think
salt
it's
is
all
way
about
more
money and
important.
nothing about the safety of people driving on
The
the
people
absolutely
who
no
drive those
safety.
plow trucks are also, they get paid like $30 an hour.
Oh, they should.
That's like a
They're-
ballpark, but it's not more, it's not, maybe $5 less tops.
Yeah, and I mean, while I was working at Subway after the shit dropped down, I was watching outside and I kept seeing all of these obviously not paid for by the city because they're paid for,
Yeah.
but companies paying for their own shit. There was like this Bobcat in front of the hospital trying to get the path cleared
So that-
for ambulances.
Yeah.
but he slid into the fucking road.
Shit.
When he was like trying to push snow out because the roads were so bad, and a car almost fucking hit him.
Yeah.
Like he's swinging onto National, one of our main streets.
Yeah.
And he's like doing a 360 on it. And see the guy, you know, I was yards away, and I could see the fear in his eyes.
He's like, oh.
And that shit just should not happen. I'm sorry. National should not.
How
look
can
like-
anyone think this is okay? How did like they pass this idea through like Springfield government or whatever, and then like how did the very first snow not immediately make you realize how fucking stupid you're being?
Because now they can pay for milkshakes for
Exactly.
everybody.
Milkshakes.
Like literally everyone in this city is at risk because of this shit. No one can just stay in their homes and wait for snow to melt. We've all got shit we've got to do.
Oh, and God knows there are plenty of neighborhood roads in Springfield.
Yeah.
It's all neighborhood.
And you know
roads.
what?
Basically,
if we
it's
could
not
just
National
get-
Sunshine or Battlefield,
or Glenstone.
Well,
Glenstone,
even
yeah.
the main roads weren't clear yesterday.
Exactly.
No, they weren't.
If the main roads were clear, I would be willing to forget the neighborhood roads. Because you know what? Clearing neighborhood roads, that's kind of a motherfucker. Because again,
It's a
they're
lot
very
of
narrow.
work.
Yeah. But main roads, at least, just get those
And-
so
and
I
those-
don't fucking die on my way
Because
to
you're
work.
going 45 for Christ's sake.
Not even that. I did fucking 15
Yeah,
down
I've been
Fremont
going
today
like 10.
And that's
because
it.
more than that,
Yeah.
and my tires were spinning.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, and the main roads are better today, but just for clarity,
only because they
it
melted.
snowed early Sunday morning. Where we come from, Liberty, streets would have been cleared by the time it was noon.
Yes, absolutely.
They would have called school a
Absolutely.
fucking
But the
half
school,
day.
but the streets were a disaster all of Sunday. Go to bed, wake up Monday. The main roads were still garbage. I went outside at 4 p.m. on Monday to like just fucking go to like a gas station or some shit. Main roads were still an absolute joke.
Yeah.
It was today, Tuesday, when the main road showed any semblance of being like traversable, and they're still slick.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't have
They're
any,
not.
like,
They're not like perfect. There's still snow
They're still
and slush on those
I
roads.
don't have any like fucking statistics in front of me or anything, so I don't know.
So all
The
of this
accident
obviously
rate-
is with a grain of
Right.
salt.
Obviously, this is all like anecdotal fucking evidence, but I swear to God, if I were to look it up, I would be
No,
very
man, it's
surprised
pretty
to
bad,
believe
yeah.
that the accident rate has not astronomically increased.
Well, no,
Obviously.
I'll tell you one thing. I don't remember the exact number, but it was somewhere between like 10 and 15.
Oh yeah.
But driving on the highway here in Springfield a couple of weeks ago, after our first big snowstorm, they had a big sign up, one of those like flashing signs they can put up that's like construction ahead. But it didn't say that. It said like something like 15 road deaths in last weekend's snowstorm.
yeah.
Drive careful. I was
Jesus
like, fuck
Christ.
you, drive careful. How about plow your fucking roads?
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of
I'll
paying for this fucking sign,
And
it tells me to be careful.
they're really proud of that sign, buddy.
what
It has like 3 emoticons.
It's all they had in the budget. Was that sign, don't die.
It was really cold out. That guy could not get to the side to fix it. What really pisses
It's like a
me
picture
off
of a little girl
is
being like, "No."
the signs where it pisses me off, and I understand why they're there. It actually is very good advice for
Right.
young drivers.
Right.
That's always good advice.
Exactly, and it's the signs that have the sort of like
Good
the
advice
things
for
that
every
like
driver in
rhyme.
Springfield.
Yeah.
So
Click
like,
it or ticket.
yeah, like that kind of shit.
Right.
One of them, and it's the one that's fucking all over Springfield right now. It's ice and snow, take it slow. And I'm doing like 10 miles an hour past the sign, just flipping it off. Like, I'm not a dumb shit. I know that this is dangerous. Fix the fucking roads.
Yeah. It's not like.
You've had
can't
3
go
fucking
over 10
days.
miles per hour.
Yeah, we didn't even get the worst of it. We got 5 inches of snow. Fucking St. Louis, where my parents live, they got literally 11 inches of snow.
Yeah. And all
And
their roads are fucking clear.
Their roads are fucking. Well, they weren't immediately, but by Monday, after
by
it
Monday.
stopped, they were fucking
When it
clear.
mattered,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's like a.
What?
I lost my train of thought. Well, no, it's like when
Like something
when I
stupid.
saw
Just
that sign, there were like several moments of clarity that dawned on me. Okay, so it's not just me that's like these roads are fucking ridiculous. People are literally dying out here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And B, it's like drive careful.
What is this?
It's like they're trying to blame us for traffic accidents
Yeah.
in these conditions. Fuck you. I drive as careful as it gets. It is my job to drive.
You have the
And
most experience
I've
out of
gotten
any of
pretty
them.
good at it.
Yeah.
Like, not to toot my own horn, I'm a pretty good driver.
Right.
I have almost wrecked several times in these conditions, and that's not my fault. That's just the roads are really bad, and being as alert as I can, I'm still getting into trouble out there.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, you can't do anything against physics, you know?
Yeah.
And I was trying to pull on the Elm to get home, pulling off a National, and I slowed down, I swear to God, to 5 miles per hour.
Oh, yeah.
Because I knew as soon as I turned, like...
Spinning everywhere.
Because whenever there's a turn, of course, there's a shit ton of slush from the other cars.
Yeah.
And I almost hit somebody. Going 5, slowly cascading towards him. I locked eyes, and I'm like, I can't do anything about it.
You just lay on your horn, you're like, boo!
I think I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but I was driving.
I couldn't do anything.
I think I mentioned it a couple
I'm,
weeks
like,
ago.
pumping
I
my
was
brakes.
driving in an apartment complex, and like I was coming to the bottom of a hill, and I was putting my brakes on to turn.
Yeah.
And
Fishtail.
my car just starts fishtailing, and like I'm about to hit another car. There's 2 people in front of me, like who are just like walking through their apartment complex, and they're both clearly watching me. They're like, that guy's about to hit someone. I'm looking back at them. I'm like, seriously, guys, I'm trying so much.
I'm trying so hard.
And I
Pleading
did
with your
barely,
eyes.
but it's just one of those things. Like there's nothing that can be done.
I just
got one for you
refused to
now.
It was
believe
merely
I
good
told-
fortune that spared us both.
Yeah.
Yes.
I told him about this. The day I got back in town, I came to hang out, and
Me, Jake, he was pointing
Yes.
at me.
I'm on the way to, I stopped at my place, dropped off some of my stuff. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go see Jake. I pull out, there's this, I swear to God, he's a suicidal dog. This dog wants to run right up to my car and try and jump in front of it. He's like, hooray, it's this guy! He keeps going in front of my car. So I'm freaking out, like I'm on the phone with my dad and I'm just driving like
Which,
regular.
by the way, on the phone with your dad in snowy-ass conditions.
No, this is before snow, by the way.
Oh, it was before.
This
okay.
is before snow, by the way.
We do not
So-
condone driving while talking on the phone.
So literally, my dad hears me go. So anyway, then I was, a dog.
oh
He's
god!
like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, this dog just jumped in front of me. So I'm on my way today, snow like crazy, to hang out with Jake. And as I'm going 5 miles an hour, and this dog is like, it's him! And I'm going again 5 miles,
Oh, no.
and I have to take back routes out of my regular street because I can't take the regular route I take because I can't get over that hill.
The hill, yeah.
I tried
It's literally
once.
like a 2
Yeah.
degree incline.
Yeah.
You can't fucking
Can't
do
do
it.
it.
I can't make it. So I'm taking back routes, and this dog is like, it's him. I'm going 5 miles an hour, and the whole time he's like right against the side of my
Oh
car.
my
And I'm
God.
just going, oh my God, get away, get away. He looks at me, and I'm just like, run away, like making gestures with
need
my
eyes.
hands.
He's like,
Jeez.
I heard play. Let's do
yeah,
it.
and the dog's like, it's him! It's him! Hooray! And finally, he's behind me finally, and then he disappears. And by that point, I'm stopped completely going, did he get away?
Is he under the car?
He's gone. He's gone. Okay. And so, just again, I'm 5 miles an hour is stressful enough because of this Sparky over here is like, not you.
No, yeah, not me, but
Sparky the dog.
Scruffy the dog,
I had a.
taking a bite out of crime.
And
By
barring
dying.
any other stories,
By
of
dying.
this can be our last one. They
I
finally
almost hit a
talked about
rabbit
it.
yesterday, but I didn't.
That's a cool story.
That was a great story.
Well, you wanted more stories, so I
Was
threw
it-
one
no,
out.
that's fine. Yeah. So I had a total Jesus take the wheel moment.
Jesus take
like,
the wheel.
It was, I think it was
Thank you.
either yesterday or the day before. I was on the road and I was coming up on this turn, and I was going real slow because when it's snow, I'm the motherfucker who, and I apologize so incredibly for this, but I'm the motherfucker who rides his fucking brakes. Because God help me, if I see the fucker in front of me tap his brakes, mine are going down.
Yeah.
Because my car has shitty traction.
So you gotta
because on
keep
top of
on it.
being
Yeah.
of being an Intrepid, I have like the cheapest fucking tires you can buy
Which most
because
people
I'm
do.
like 22 and I don't
Right.
have money.
There's also a college town. That's
Yeah.
all people can afford.
I don't know
Shut
about
up,
you.
No,
I'm feeling
Stop
like-
it.
Yeah.
I've got shitty tires.
Shut up! I don't know
I
about
don't
you.
know
I
about
have
you.
shitty tires.
I'm 22 and I have shitty tires.
I have
That's
shitty
your favorite
tires,
song.
student
my
loans,
resume.
and an alcohol addiction. I'm
Exactly.
feeling 22.
Fuck everybody else.
Oh god, it's my life.
Beautiful.
So
That should
anyway,
have been the song.
I'm coming up on this fucking turn, and again, doing 10 miles an hour, and the roads are, this is at the point where they've been driven over so much. Not plowed, just driven over.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
God
They're
forbid
flat.
they plow.
Now it's ice.
They're like
it's
packed
just,
down.
It's just ice.
Yeah.
Just packed ice.
Which is always what happens.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm coming up to this turn, and it's not quite a 90 degree, not like a stop and then turn. It's like a very sharp curve though.
Okay.
So normally when you come at it, you slow down and then like you make sure that nobody's coming because it's one of those weird like T intersections, but you keep going. And
Is
it's
it like a
third
yield
road.
kind of thing?
Yeah, like a yield thing.
Yeah. Alright.
There's not an actual stop sign; it's just a yield.
It's just one
And
you're at.
so yeah, so I slow down to 5 miles an hour so I can see if anybody's coming. No one is coming. So I'm like, all right, let's do this. And I press my gas pedal just slightly too hard, so my shitty wheels, they spin
Do a little
and they
spin.
kick up snow. And I'm like, And fucking, goddamn it. So I let off the gas pedal, wait for my car to slow down, because it's still doing about 5 miles an hour forward, because that's just its standard fucking pace at this point.
Right.
And I very lightly tap the gas, and it catches, so it goes a little bit faster. And it hits about 15 toward this corner.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I'm going a little fast. I clearly fucked up.
Yeah.
Let me just gently brake. And then my tires are like, oh, I heard you like to brake. Too bad. So my wheels slow down, and my car keeps doing like the same speed because I'm sliding. And I'm like, okay, pump the brakes. Literally pump the brakes on my car to get it to stop, and it's not having it. And it's really. The look on my face, just imagine me literally in the Jesus take the wheel pose.
Right.
With my hands like gripping the wheel, my face back, and my jaw just open.
Well, that's the worst because, you didn't do any mistakes. You're driving carefully, and it's still not working.
Exactly.
When you're pumping the brakes, nothing happens.
Yeah. And so I'm approaching this, what is essentially a cliff.
Yeah.
Because it's a good 20-foot drop before it evens out on a very steep incline. And I'm like, I'm gonna die today! And so I'm doing my best to stop the car, and it keeps going, and it's not slowing down. And I turn the wheel, and my back end, because my car is front-wheel drive.
Right.
So I turn the wheel, and obviously the front of my car doesn't turn. That would make sense.
Right.
My back end promptly decides to fishtail.
Oh.
So it spins out to the right, like really kind of harshly.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't turn it that much.
Yeah.
And I flip around, and I manage somehow to end up not in a crater at the bottom of this drop, but instead in the middle of the road, literally perpendicular to the lanes.
Oh, God.
So I have about 3 feet of space to back up, go forward, back up, and go forward.
42-point turn?
Yeah, literally just like wiggle my way to the correct position.
Yeah.
All the time I'm like, I don't want to fall off this cliff.
No,
So, that's,
Not
Yeah, like I got stuck trying to pull on the National, getting out of my job, half in, half out, and I couldn't move.
Yeah, you were like, sorry
all that
guys.
slush, I literally could not move. No
The
matter how
slush is some of the
gentle.
worst part of it.
Yes,
Because it builds up intersections
absolutely.
when you have to, like, stop. So then
Yeah.
you have to go with all this just fucking...
And then you have these divots that people create because they go through the same problem,
Yeah.
or whatever, and you get stuck in them when you don't have enough horsepower to get out of them. And I literally could not move. Thankfully, by pure fucking happenstance, another guy who worked there happened to be swinging by to pick somebody else up because they usually walk, and they're not going to walk in negative whatever, and was able to clear out my tires and push me. Literally had to give some manpower to push me out onto National. Cars coming. I mean, it's just insane. It is just absolutely crazy, the whole road situation. I mean...
Have I ever told you guys the time I face planted trying to be a good citizen?
No.
Okay. So
all I could think of was the Vine.
No, yeah, exactly. It's the same kind of thing.
So much snow!
What happened
koala
was
ears.
we were on a. This was way back in high school. It was when I was, I think I was dating Brittany at the time. She and I were going to the AMC theater up there to go see a movie or whatever. Mm-hmm. And at one of the stoplights beforehand, there's a little bit of a hill. It's a decent sized hill, so if there's snow on it, it's difficult to get up.
Right.
And Kansas City isn't great at plowing their streets, but they're better than Springfield.
Yeah.
Everyone is.
So yeah,
are better.
so
Set the
we're
bar
like,
that low, you're bound to get over it.
we get up the hill successfully, and we're
Hawaii
stopped at the
is better.
stoplight, and we're behind a truck, but it's not like a big truck; it's like a racing truck, so it's tiny, low to the ground, fucking has no traction, nothing in the back. So the light turns green. He's not going anywhere for a good 10 seconds. Like he's spinning his tires, he's trying to go slow, everything he's got, and he's not going anywhere. So I'm like, hold on. So I park my car, I put it in the park, put the fucking parking brake on, because, that'll fucking help in the snow, obviously.
Right.
And I get out, and I go up behind the truck, and I just start pushing.
Right.
I just fucking...
Oh, God.
and he sees that I'm behind him, and he's like, all right, time to gun it. So he guns it, and that's what you do. You gun it to get the fucking car to go. And I'm like, all right, good. He knew I was here. He's not just going slow. And I push, and I like, it's not working, and so I let go while he's gunning it, and I just literally fucking shoulder the motherfucker. And it goes... But it goes much faster than I expected it to.
And
Takes
so-
off like
And
a
so
shot.
he does. He takes off like a fucking shot in the middle of the intersection. And I just go right into the fucking pavement. And I land right on the side of my face. And it gives me this huge bruise right on my jawline. And I get up and there's 8 cars behind my car, and I'm like, I get up and I'm rubbing my jaw because it fucking hurts. And I'm about to walk back to my car. It's been like 3 seconds maybe, and the car behind my car goes beep.
I'm like, fuck you! Fuck you! I'm fighting. This is happening.
Wow. I'm pushing you backwards.
You sir,
Get out of your car! Come on!
We're doing this right here in the snow. I'm already hurt, feeling the adrenaline. I will kick your
let's
ass.
fucking go.
I already got punched in the face by the earth. I'm sure you're.
Okay, so let's go back 25
Going
minutes.
back
Wolf of Wall
20
Street.
minutes.
Tell us your skills.
Getting away from Springfield's horrific fucking, I don't know,
Conditions.
legal
Roads.
brain. Who knows?
Ugh.
Yeah,
God.
we need to like petition them or some
Something.
shit.
This
Letter
gotta be
writing
one of the
campaign.
fucking
I would
worst, man.
think, yeah.
I will
Anyway.
drop the C-bomb.
Getting away from that. Wolf of Wall Street. Totally shifting gears.
So that has Leonardo da Vinci in it, right?
That's right.
Yeah, Da Vinci,
Leonardo da
back
Vinci,
from the
man.
dead.
Let me tell you, what an actor.
No, the dead.
Oh,
No, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, a whole bunch of people, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
those are
really
the two
It's
big names that I
mainly,
know.
it's really Leo and Jonah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they have the most screen time. I mean,
Those are, I think, the two most recognizable names.
It's got it's got a
Well,
big cast, but
Sure.
and you have like Rob Reiner plays his
Yeah.
dad.
a lot of
I
them
heard
are
he
kind
did
of
awesome.
He does
relegated
great
to the
job.
side of the movie for the most
Yeah.
part. They have smaller parts.
He even has the what do you say,
Ancillary
How I Met Your
characters.
Mother.
Kristen Milioti, who plays the mother on How I Met Your Mother this season.
Oh, nice.
Really? Excellent.
Yeah.
Does she
He
play
plays
like a
his
bit part? or is
first
she-
wife. Yeah,
his
kind of
first
a bit
wife.
part.
Yeah, I mean, really,
Everybody else is really
yeah, basically
kind of-
everyone who's not Leo and Jonah is a bit part. Well, and Leo's second wife has a pretty substantial amount of screen time, whoever she is.
I don't know her. I feel like I recognize her, but
Yeah, I was kind of like in and out on the movie. Like, I know her. No, I don't. I know her.
but it was great. It
Really good.
was.
One of the best movies I've seen all year.
Yeah.
I've seen them good ones.
And it is a movie of excess, absolute excess. Like
Lots of drugs.
Literally.
we're,
Lots
we're
of
talking
women.
the kind of
I heard it's rich people doing crazy rich people.
Lots of
live
lots
fast
of
and
harsh
lose.
language.
Yeah.
Stockbroker who.
And it's bad people doing bad things, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the best kind of
There is
people
no
to watch.
straight man in this movie.
No.
Absolutely not. But it's just kind of like do the craziest shit as possible to get everybody pumped to make more sales kind
Oh,
of thing.
whoa.
Yeah,
That's so
exactly.
weird.
Because, you know,
What?
Wall
I
Street.
do know the girl who played his second wife. She was in About Time, which I watched literally 2 days ago.
Oh,
Nice.
she in anything?
So
Is
I
that
don't
the
know.
one where the guy's like the descendant of a guy who can stop time and he can stop time too?
It's a romantic comedy from the director of Love Actually, which,
Yeah.
for those who don't
Written
know,
by
is
him,
one of
too.
my favorite movies ever made.
because he is essentially a
Unabashedly.
giant vagina with
You know,
feet.
he's
Yeah.
like one of the highest paid screenwriters in the world. So it
Jesus
pays to be a
Christ.
vagina with feet.
Well,
So-
yeah,
exactly.
He
I
wrote
would hope
most of the most popular rom-coms of like the last
yes,
decade.
and that
Yeah.
helps.
Like he wrote Notting Hill and Love Actually. And
Did
Bridget
you
Jones'
write
Diary.
Four
Kate
Weddings
and
and a
Leopold?
Funeral. Didn't he write that too?
Yeah, that one too.
Did he write
Man.
Kate and Leopold?
I don't
He
think so.
did not.
Because that is my favorite rom-com.
About Time is from that guy, and it's about this guy who every male in his family can. They play real fast and loose with the rules of time travel here.
No, yeah, I get it.
This is
That's
not
fine.
a science
Yeah.
fiction.
Yeah, I was telling you guys the other day, like, do not hold it up to like a magnifying glass and be like, that's not how that would operate. They're causing all sorts of wormholes and like, you know,
Butterfly effect
not the point.
bullshit.
It's
Not the target audience here.
It's a rom-com with a gimmick, is what it is. And,
Yeah.
Right.
but every male in his family can manipulate time in the sense that they can go back to any moment they lived and change it. He can't
like at any point, like even if it's 3 years ago.
It has to be a moment that he lived in,
Okay,
and like
alright.
Bill Nye is the guy's dad,
Yeah.
and so the way he explains it. at the start of the
Nye,
movie-
not Nye.
Yeah,
the
not Bill
science
Nye, the
guy.
science guy, but Davy Jones.
Okay, Davy Jones.
Yeah. But
Still
the
without
way
his
he
heart.
explains it to his son at the start of the movie is like, I can't go back in time and kill Hitler. You
Yeah.
know, I wasn't there. It's got to be a place that you were at, and from there you can change it. And it doesn't really explicitly like mention anything from there. Like, okay, so when do you snap back to this timeline?
Yeah.
because as it's mostly used in the movie,
So
he
isn't the
goes
dad
back.
just going to keep going back in time and not dying? Like,
Yeah,
He, he
That's
goes,
really
he goes
nice,
back
I
and
mean.
changes like little things here and again, but it never like shows him having to live like the next 5 days to catch back up to the normal timeline.
Yeah.
It seems like what happens is he like, oh, I wish I could do that conversation differently. He like goes back, he says something different, and then we just kind of snap back to reality. Oop, there goes gravity.
There goes Rabbit. He choked. He won't have any.
no.
America's gone.
No, you're getting away. Don't do
But
it.
yeah, she's in that movie. which was decent, by the way. It's not bad. If you like rom-coms, it's one of the better ones I've seen.
Is it anything like Kate and Leopold?
I never saw Kate and Leopold.
Okay, well then I will not watch
That's
this
the one with Hugh Jackman.
It's Hugh Grant and some other.
No, it's Hugh Jackman.
No, that's Hugh Grant. Because I remember it because the Family
already
Guy
on
joke.
IMDb.
No, wait, it might be Hugh Jackman. All I remember is the part where he like comes back from the past and he gets a part in a commercial for I Can't Believe It's Not Butter.
Right.
And he's supposed to take a bite and smile and say, I can't believe it's not butter. But he takes a bite and he's like, oh, that's not butter. That's disgusting. And it makes me lose my shit every time.
Kate and Leopold did have Hugh Jackman in it, and it was directed by James Mangold, who would later direct Hugh Jackman again in The Wolverine.
Oh, good.
Man.
Oh, good. Two fantastic movies.
There's your
obviously.
fun movie fact of the day.
I actually like the Wolverine.
I heard The Wolverine was good. I'm just saying, it's a very...
But that's a big difference.
Apples and oranges. There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you go from that to that?
It's more like apples and like zebras.
With
There's
claws.
a big difference.
With claws.
Shing. Yeah.
In Japan.
Steel adamantium claws. So Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street.
This thing.
Ultimately, I highly recommend it. I don't
Yeah,
want to spoil anything here, but...
Well, yeah, it's hard to talk about.
It's
So Leo
hard to talk about
DiCaprio's
too
a
much,
werewolf on
but-
Wall Street.
But
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
right. That's right.
It's basically Leo plays the stockbroker, and it's
It
basically
starts from the ground.
yeah,
up,
his
like-
rise to power as like the richest, wealthiest motherfucker in the entire existence of the planet,
And all of his
Right.
manipulation and stuff like that.
and all of the illegal shit he has to do to get there, and all of the blowing
and how good of a
hookers.
salesman he is.
All of the blowing hookers along the way.
You have
There's
no
a lot of
idea.
blowing
Like,
hookers.
holy God, there's
Lots
a lot
of
of
blowing
blowing hookers.
Is there more blowing hookers than was in the Doors movie?
I haven't seen it.
Didn't see.
Okay.
But probably.
There's a lot of blowing hookers.
I mean, there's one point they're on like a jumbo jet plane, and it is filled like
with blowing.
Well,
head to
see,
toe
you
with
say
blowing
that.
hookers.
It's Leo's
And
bachelor
accountants.
party, so it's obviously insane.
You
Yes.
say that, and there's a scene in the Doors where the people playing the Doors are in a room with like 40 naked women.
Right.
And they were all naked, and that camera shows you every single naked woman.
No, there was
And
a
there
lot
There
of
are
just straight
comparable
up-
moments
Okay,
in Wall
all right.
Street.
Fair
And
enough.
there's also like throwing midgets at bullseyes and shit like that. While
That
there are
seems
hookers and blow,
excessive.
in the office.
Oh,
Yeah,
does not seem like appropriate office time.
It's a very, very
disagree.
funny movie.
it is. It's funny in the worst ways.
You
Yeah.
just offended literally any tiny person.
Well,
viewer.
no, the entire conversation in the movie that revolves around that is
Like
very
it shows
offensive.
them. It shows them talking about setting that whole thing up, and it is just like, I mean, PC is not.
It's
I
he's
saw
saying what
a
he's
bit.
saying is it's funny in how offensive and not politically correct.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's like an offensive joke.
Like I
Okay.
cannot
yeah,
believe
okay.
they are saying
Like
this.
like dead baby jokes. Okay, I get
Yes,
it. Yeah,
exactly.
all right.
That
Well,
kind
like
of-
in the review I saw of it, he says you will be laughing in this movie, and there will be moments where you'll say you'll be laughing and feel uncomfortable that you are laughing.
Yes,
But-
absolutely.
Yeah.
That it is also
And
a
there
funny
are
movie. Like
a
he says,
good
yeah.
share of solid dramatic moments, but it toes
Yeah.
the line most
It,
of the time.
it hits a lot of dramatic beats, especially as kind of obviously he's doing a bunch of illegal shit rising to
Well,
power.
sure,
so the
yeah.
authorities start to dawn on him at some point. As everything's coming to a head, it definitely starts to pick up in a more dramatic direction.
Yeah, and it's not like they're setting up like solid jokes most of the time. I mean, there are a few jokes that they do, like them talking about setting up the whole throwing little people into the that's an obvious setup to joke. Other times it's just like they're just so fucking ridiculous. These guys are out of their minds. I guess I can spoil this because it happens in like the first monologue at the beginning of the movie. He talks about all the drugs that he takes, and because it's got a lot of narration because it's
Leo does narrating the whole movie.
He does.
Is it like a frame story? Like it ends with like him, like where he is telling this story?
And now I'm a
Kind of like
He,
flight.
he is telling the story in past tense the whole time.
But
you never see
cut
where
back
he's
and
telling the
forth.
story.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, we never cut back and
It's
forth.
him
or
during the
anything like
credits.
that.
Okay,
right,
excellent.
exactly.
All right, cool.
But he talks about all the drugs that he takes, and the list goes on.
Oh, okay.
And I take this to mellow out, and then I take morphine because it's awesome. It's like the end of the monologue.
Wow.
It's something else. I definitely recommend seeing it. And as I was just saying to you guys, it is the best Jonah Hill role I have seen.
And
And Moneyball was
do you
great.
think it'll win him the supporting?
It won't win
It will,
because
It
there
won't win anything.
are better people in that field this year.
but it will net him a nomination.
It should
has
get him
to
a
get him a
nomination.
nomination.
So he'll have 2 nominations.
By the basic
Yeah.
logic
One of-
of if he gets nominated for Moneyball, he
should
gets
get
nominated for this.
One of the pseudo Judd Apatow kids finally has 2 Oscar nominations.
I know, that's
The
crazy.
world is changing.
Well, I know in real life he's kind of a serious-minded dude. Like
Yeah,
the rest
I-
of them are kind of jokesters.
And this is the end. That's like my favorite Jonah Hill role because for 2/3 of the
here,
movie
actually.
he plays it straight faced. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, "I love you,
Jonah
Jay.
Hill,
You're
America's
a great
sweetheart."
guy." Yeah, America's sweetheart. And then he gets possessed by a demon. He's like, "Oh, does it hurt?
Yeah,
does
he
it
goes
really?"
straight on Jonah Hill.
Yeah, he becomes
as
Jonah
we
Hill.
know him, but
Yeah.
he plays. You don't get any hints of shit that he's done before. When
Well,
he's playing
sure,
this.
yeah.
Like, I definitely started to forget at some point.
That he was in Superbad.
Yeah.
That he
God,
talked
that just
about.
blows my
Or as you
mind.
were saying earlier, that he's the kid with the fish shoes and 4-year-old virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go home and wear these. Yeah.
He's also in the beginning of Night at the Museum too, which
Is
is
he really?
I
I've
feel
never
like
seen
an
that one,
underrated
actually.
movie. It's not fantastic.
I didn't like the first one at all, so I never saw the second. But
So you would not like the second
Yeah,
one.
probably
because
not.
the second one is basically more of the first, but it's still good.
Well, it made so much money. Why not just do the
Exactly.
second?
And again,
As is with most movies nowadays.
I like him, but he has a brief part in the beginning, and you could tell the director knew who Jonah Hill was, so he basically was just like, "So Jonah, you're talking to Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller's gonna do some stuff. Just respond."
Right.
In kind. And so there's literally a 5-minute scene where Ben Stiller goes from introducing himself to trying to take Jonah Hill's flashlight to Jonah Hill like threatening him to Ben Stiller putting him in a sleeper hold.
Fantastic.
And it's really great. It's just delightful. And they end best friends. They're like, "I respect you." And they just go their separate ways.
Speaking of like just a crazy fucking scene with Jonah Hill, I guess I can drop this one because it doesn't. I'll avoid the
that's
plot.
at your discretion because I don't know what you're talking about. But if you
There's
think
so
the
many
lemon,
scenes.
the lemon Quaaludes thing. Remember that?
yeah,
The fighting on
yeah,
the
you
phone?
could go for that.
Okay. I
This
was
is,
talking about
kind,
the
this is
plot
kind of a
revolving
light
around it.
spoiler,
Yeah,
so
I guess.
skip forward like 2-3 minutes if you're really really concerned.
But Leo and Jonah Hill are fucked up on these special. Was it Quaaludes?
Quaaludes, yeah,
Yeah,
Like
these special
Quaaludes.
super Quaaludes that they took too many of because they didn't
Can I-
kick in fast enough. It's kind of like,
Like
oh, these
you.
aren't working. Let's take some more kind of shit, and it just hits him like a rock.
Like people
They're like pop
brownies.
Yes, that kind of thing.
Oh, I
But
feel
Leo
bad,
is
yeah.
like crawling on the floor, can't
Oh,
talk,
God.
like that bad.
Yeah.
And, and he's trying to get Jonah Hill off the phone for reasons I won't go into. Not like you can understand Jonah Hill because he's just like, it's $2 million.
Yeah.
And it's the two of them drugged out of their fucking minds trying to get him off the phone, and he's like, I'm on the phone! It is so fucking funny. Oh my god. In the worst way. It is so
it's
fucking
incredible.
Including one moment where, as Leo watches Popeye eat spinach on TV, he fishes out some cocaine and snorts it so that he can get the power to keep keep Jonah Hill
to right the ship, you know.
yeah, to keep Jonah Hill from choking to death because he shoved ham into his mouth. So yeah, see it because man,
It is hilarious.
Alright, I'll check it out.
and I mean it's 3 hours and it's rough to
Long-ass
it's
movie.
rough to carry.
I mean, that's
3
standard
hours.
time for Martin Scorsese, but
It is
damn.
it is a pretty breezy 3 hours.
But yeah, like I was about to say, it's in good hands.
Yeah,
for
okay.
sure.
There are a lot of times in the film where there are a couple lulls because as I was saying to him, it's hard to make a 3-hour movie that never feels like it's 3 hours.
Yeah,
I
There'll be a
agree,
moment
yeah.
or two where you're like, yeah, this has been carrying on a little bit. But for the most part, it'll be like, wow, where did the time go?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I thought we were just watching Jonah Hill crawl across the floor.
Oh my god, that scene.
Every time you were saying that, by the way, every time you said Quaaludes, I kept thinking in my mind that scene from Total Recall where he's like, "Quaid, start the reactor."
I do want to.
Quaid.
While we're on the subject, I do want to plug one other movie. And I'm the only one here who's seen it, so this will probably be shorter.
Do it.
Have a
I mean, that's
dialogue.
fine.
But not only Wolf of Wall Street was definitely one of the 3 best movies I've seen this year.
Oh, damn.
If I were to name one of the other 3 best movies I saw this year, it would be the one I watched yesterday, which is in no way comparable to The Wolf of Wall Street, but it's 12 Years a Slave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of this movie in my life.
Yeah.
Also, I may or may not have just accidentally put a beer bottle cap in my pocket. I'm having a great time, guys. Let's keep this going.
It's a.
Wait, you've never heard 12 Years a Slave? Or you
Literally never.
Really?
Admittedly, I haven't been keeping up as much on the Oscar movie, like Oscar
Sure.
movies
The Oscar
this year as I
season-
did the past
the
few
awards
years.
season.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna
You know.
hear about it because it's gonna win some awards.
I mean,
Unless I just remove myself from the TV and the internet.
Yeah.
Yes, that would do it.
Good
Best
luck.
of luck doing that.
Yeah,
buddy.
exactly.
But it's a
Props to
movie,
you.
and I can never pronounce the lead's name to save myself.
Is that another like vowels name, like Kwavanzane
A
Wallace or
vowels
whatever
name?
the fuck her name
Well,
was?
Convention Wallace is in it, but
So fuck. Okay, let me flip this table.
But see,
I
the only
agree.
way I learned her name was because everyone talked about her. So I will eventually learn his name as it starts coming in.
Right.
But it's
Oh, I know, but look at that.
yeah, it's Convention Wallace.
Oh.
I just said it. Man.
That's how you say
Even
that.
looking at it, you couldn't recognize it because it's that bad.
No, seriously,
There was
you
a
look
Q
at that-
and a V and a Z.
I shit you
I was
not.
scared.
I
What
look
is
at
the
that
vowel?
name. I would never in my life guess that it's pronounced Kwavanjane.
Yeah.
yeah, I would
Yeah.
Never.
You never guess it. That's
So anyway.
If you just looked at it, you'd be like Quivenzane.
Yeah, exactly. Kwavanjane, of
Wallace.
course. Kwavanjane Wallace.
If
the
I
next
were doing
man straight.
if I were doing a direct
Lincoln.
same way pronouncing this guy's name, it would be like Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Isn't it Aofor?
I
Sounds like
don't
you-
know.
we don't know.
If
It's
I
not-
had,
I know that name.
if I had,
somewhere.
well, he's pretty big. He's been in some stuff.
It's like you're saying his name
Keep
in
talking,
reverse.
I'm gonna-
Yeah, I'm trying to send him back to the
Alright,
random zone.
yeah.
like it's
Mark Johnson.
No. But
My
anyway,
true name.
it's a very very depressing movie.
Banish him. Of course it is.
Well, that name.
That much like Wolf of Wall Street is based on a true story.
You couldn't call up movie 12
Wolf of
Years
Wall
a
Street
Slave
based
and
on-
it'd be
I think
like
it's
a
loosely based on
happy-go-lucky
I know it's based off of a novel, probably
Yeah.
based off.
Maybe. This is more thoroughly based on a true story.
Holy shit! The director of this movie is Steve McQueen.
Yeah, I know.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
It's not like
Is
Not-
it the same Steve McQueen?
The
Sure.
dead Steve McQueen?
Oh, he's dead. I didn't know he was dead.
You mean like old
dead
Steve
Like
McQueen?
Steve fucking McQueen.
No,
it's a
he
different
died
guy.
young, actually.
Okay, well that director has
Not
an awesome
him.
name, so that's fine.
Anyway, 12
Continue.
Years a Slave is the story of this free black man who
Free black man.
Obviously,
you're
way-
clearly talking science fiction.
way back in the day when we had to describe black men as free because some of
Racism.
them weren't.
Well, didn't they give him like the last name of Freeman or something like that?
They did that with a lot of
I have
people,
heard
but
of
this guy was born free.
Oh, he was
free his whole life. He had
free.
like a real name. His name is Solomon
he
North.
was never.
He was never a slave.
Okay.
He lives in the north. He's got a family. He's got kids. One day he gets kidnapped
Oh, my
and
God.
sold into slavery and spends
Oh,
12
man.
years as a slave.
A slave.
12 years a slave.
That's a dynamite premise.
It's a great premise and it's heartbreaking right from
I'll
jump.
bet.
Right.
It's one of the most depressing movies you'll ever see in your life. It will break your heart, but it's also really really well made and it's super emotional and well acted. And Michael Fassbender, who plays Magneto in X-Men First Class,
love that
I feel like there are better movies to go to.
He's been in other movies.
Although I suppose for the
well,
purposes of our podcast, that
that
fits
was
better.
the most accessible mainstream.
Yeah, that's
they came
yes,
up with. He's in it as one of the slave owners. He's an absolute dick.
Isn't Cumberbatch in that?
So
Cumberbatch is in it as well as a slave owner.
let me just.
Is he
Or
also
actually
a dick?
here.
Oxford
He's-
University.
I mean, he's as much of a dick as anyone who owns slaves. Is,
Right,
but
right.
He's less of one.
He's
he,
an
he
Englishman.
shows some empathy towards.
Okay, a
towards
little bit of
people.
sympathy.
Yeah. But no, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant movie.
So-
it's very depressing, but
Let me
So
blow
good.
your mind for a second
Blow
because I realized
Blow me.
where
Wow.
no,
Blow me.
I'm not
away.
No, blow me away.
Yeah.
away.
Go ahead.
So I realized where I know. I'm just gonna say his name wrong because I don't fucking care.
Chiwetel
Chiwetel Ejiofor. Him, the black guy in 12 Years a Slave. 'Cause obviously, there's only one black guy.
the one black
Yeah,
man
so-
in the movie about
It's the
slavery.
main black guy.
So that guy.
He is the operative in Serenity,
Yep.
Yep.
which
Oh,
is
really?
how I know him.
Same here.
Wow.
He's
Yeah,
also in
same
Love
here.
Actually.
So
So the
he's-
guy who marries
he's-
Keira Knightley.
See,
Oh my
that would
God, yes.
that's what it clicks for you. Oh, Love Actually, of course, that guy. No, I get
saw
that. No,
Serenity,
yeah, I
so-
feel that. You've never seen Firefly either, have
No,
you?
yeah, I've never seen Fire.
That's fine. That's fine.
So hold on. While I got on Firefly, we finally have an actual date for our first Firefly.
Oh, excellent, excellent.
Yeah,
Plug
I was
away.
supposed to have
Plug
rehearsal.
time.
I was supposed to have
Time for our
rehearsal
daily
on
plug.
yesterday, but it got canceled because of snow.
Of course.
But we have a script out. The first show that I will be in will be late March, I believe March 21st. I could be wrong. I'll post more of that stuff as it comes closer. But it sounds like. But
Doing
sounds
charades,
like
First word,
they're doing
but.
charades.
first word butts,
Butts
second
movie,
word
right?
indie dick.
So you're able to sit.
But we actually have a date for our first Firefly show, leading me to believe that the other cast has our first show on February. I believe I won't be in that, but I will be attending. Just
So
to,
you'll be in the audience.
I'll be in the audience.
You won't be in it. What?
It's weird. We have two different casts because
I see.
we're performing alongside like Star Trek and Star Trek Next Gen Readers Theater, but we are not doing Readers Theater. So because of that, we're doing two different casts. So the other cast has time to memorize lines and actually do like blocking and stuff. So
Okay.
it's not going to be Readers Theater, so actual theater. But
Actual
for
reenactment
realsies
of Firefly.
theater.
yes,
Real
so
theater.
Which is great.
I am Mal in the cast that I am in, who's Nathan Fillion, the main character, which makes me super excited.
Yeah.
But for the other cast, we actually have a female lead being Mal.
A female.
No.
I'm
throw you out
just
a
drunk
window.
enough to find that funny.
I'm gonna throw you out a window.
I'm not
That
even
window.
close.
Ian's like, no, shut
I've heard
up.
a lot of good things. I'm excited to meet her. I've heard nothing but she did amazing things during her audition, which,
Like juggling puppies or something.
as I was told. I was-
She's got to be the one.
That's
I was
amazing.
told
That's
because
amazing.
when I got there was maybe like 10 minutes left of audition time for Firefly, which was the only thing that I came to audition for. So I was talking to a bunch of people and they're like, "Yeah, she did great during like the main tour monologue or something," which I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." And they're like, "How did you do during that monologue?" I'm like, "They didn't give me a monologue. They gave me an A, B, C, and
single tear.
they hired me."
And then,
What does that say?
warm it up.
Yeah.
You
So
say, that you're doing it alongside Star Trek and Star Trek Next Gen.
yes.
I don't understand the distinction in how they will portray that.
I
Is
don't
one
either.
is one going to be over the top Shatner, and the other one will just be a series of make it so jokes?
God.
As far as I know,
Exactly.
probably.
Because that's how I would
Star
perceive
Trek
it.
Readers Theater's gone on for about a year now, and it's been actually a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And you're talking about original series?
Yes.
Because that's the one.
Obviously,
if I were to pick out of the two,
Yes.
that would be the one.
Guys,
for
yes.
Readers Theater. Yeah.
If anyone didn't know, there's a Trekkie at the table.
Who is it? Oh
Who?
wait, it's
What are you
okay.
talking about?
It's not the guy who just spoke. No, not even. You've been misled. It's actually
It's not
Mitch.
me.
It's
I
not.
know
Andrew.
it's not you.
Definitely.
Definitely not me. My favorite Trek is Abrams' Trek, which will get me shot by Trekkies.
No, I get that.
Anyway,
You guys heard me.
I'm sorry. When I had
The only,
access to it,
real con is Benedict Cumberbatch. Am I
You
right,
know,
guys?
you know what? I will guest star in an episode of your guys'
There's a
movie
comic
podcast, and
specifically
we will
about
have a
his
whole
con, by the way.
episode devoted to Abrams Star Trek, and we could just sit around and banter,
that'd be fun.
and it'll be great.
That'll be awesome.
And Ian
I mean-
will leave crying.
When it comes right down to it, I didn't dislike the new Star Trek. In fact, I liked it quite a bit. I thought he did a
It's
great.
a lot
I
of
didn't really
fun.
care much
Yeah.
for the second one because I thought the script was kind of poopy. But but I liked the first one. I liked the whole
Poopy.
reboot. I like the idea of Star Trek becoming like a mainstream thing.
Yes.
For people,
I agree.
But in the end, it's not Star Trek. It's something
No, we
else
know that.
carries the same name, uses the same shit.
The Onion makes
But
a really good video.
Uhura's
making
way too
fun of it.
sexy, and
Yeah.
it's not Star
Poopy
Trek.
in the sense that he actually shit on the script, or poopy in the sense that he
was a bad
wiped
script.
himself.
He was
with it?
beating on the
Was
script too much.
it as bad as the Man of Steel script?
That
Oh,
is the
man.
true test of strength.
It's hard to tell because
They're both so bad.
Because Into Darkness was done better than Man of
Into
Steel.
Darkness was
In
at least
terms of,
made well.
Into Darkness had better direction, better acting, but
Despite the lens flare. Actually, he toned
There
down
were
the
less
flare.
lens
he
flare.
did
Into Darkness.
less lens flare,
Yes.
less shaking the fucking camera, like he has one of those massagers attached
Yeah.
to it.
The camera shake was always worse for me than the lens flare. I don't get the big fuss with the lens flare thing.
I think people are annoyed by it's like, oh, okay, add style, just insert lens
I
flare.
think people were just looking for something to latch on and criticize.
Sure, it's a good one to
latch
latch
It's the same thing as Zack
It's like,
Snyder.
oh man, there's a lot of lens flare in there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
hate on that shit. And I'm like,
I hate.
lens flare is really innocent and
His
like
stamp of
innocuous
hateful.
in terms of like filmmaking things.
Literally the same thing as Zack Snyder's oversaturation of color.
Sure.
It's the
Yeah.
same fucking thing. It's a
Fucking
stylistic
love
choice
color,
that
though.
some people will look at it and be like, fucking this guy. Right here.
But it really doesn't have that much effect on anything.
No,
Like,
no,
sure.
no.
There are a lot of criticisms you can take up with Snyder and Abrams stuff, and it doesn't have to be the visual.
My main Abrams thing is Alias. I will take up arms against Alias.
I've never seen
all day.
Alias.
Never seen
I
it.
have
You
never
should
meant to
keep
see
it that way.
That's what I've been told.
Gotta
Wait,
start
is Alias the one with Jennifer Garner?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think much of her is an
What
actress. I'd probably never
woman
watch it.
can walk around being stealthy and wearing disguises and high heels?
What does Affleck see in her?
Boobs? I
which one's
assume.
Jennifer?
Also the
Electra
from Daredevil.
I never fucking saw Electra.
From what is it called? 14 going on 30 or 13 going on 30?
Yeah, she was in that. Chances are, if you don't know who Jennifer Garner is, it's because you've never sat through a Jennifer
Wait,
Garner
wasn't
movie,
she-
and you're better for it.
Probably.
Not the woman in Juno, right?
No.
Yeah, no, she was in Juno. Yes,
I
she
think
was.
she was
was
pretty
she
good
in
in the
Juno?
right circle.
Oh, she was the one who
I've
wanted
never
the
read
baby,
that.
wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
She's the one who's married to Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
In the movie.
I think she's all right in Juno. But
Holy
I've
shit, that is
watched
Jason
Juno.
Bateman.
Yes, it is.
I just realized
Yeah,
that.
he's got a movie
All right.
coming out, by the way.
Which one?
That he's directing.
Yeah,
Called Bad Words, where
Holy
he's like
shit.
this guy, his age,
Yeah.
who's still a part of spelling bees. Because he never graduated from 8th grade, and it's like this rules loophole. You gotta see,
That sounds like a
All
Jason
right.
Bateman movie too.
but it was like an R-rated trailer, so it was some nasty shit said.
it also stars Catherine Hahn and Allison Janney, among others.
I don't
Yes.
know who either of those people are.
Allison well, did you see The Way Back?
No, but I wanted to.
Yeah.
That was almost Steve Carell, right?
Yes, Steve
Where, like,
Carell
the-
being a douchebag.
The trailer was like him being like, it seemed like the stepdad.
Yeah, he's
and
the
like the kid was in
stepdad.
the back seat. Yeah, okay.
Either way,
Steve Carell
circling
did a
back
good
though.
job.
Yeah, circling back.
back, sorry.
Going to what we were talking about.
We actually have a date set for
Right,
Firefly for the one that I'm in because we're both in different groups on Facebook. I can't see when the other one's going up.
Right.
But I'm sure there will be a big notice, and I will plug that more as it gets closer. Also plugging Star Trek, The Next Generation Readers Theater, and part of the other company, Buffy and Batman Readers Theater. Not the same show.
Which Batman?
Buffy
They're doing-
and Batman.
They're
excited,
doing-
and I was like, I'd watch that.
They recently started up. The company that kept Buffy has a new show under their. They lost Star Trek, but they've gained Batman, which is Adam West style.
Yes.
Because it's Readers Theater. It might as well be over the top.
Thing is,
Goofy.
though, the Adam West Batman was designed to be campy.
Yes.
It already
Yeah.
is over the top. I don't know. I'd be more comfortable picking like Christopher Nolan. Like if I were to do Readers Theater.
If they're doing Readers Theater, I would just
Ham up.
rather.
You
I'd rather
can
them
ham
do
up
like the
shit.
animated series. Honestly, like if you might as
That
well
would
be
be
doing
good.
like
Oh my God,
good
yes.
Batman
That'd
Because
scripts.
you could then have both. You get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
The campiness of Adam West and the Batman of
the
Nolan.
really
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Yeah, because no one wants to try to imitate Kevin Conroy. No one wants to fill those shoes.
No.
Fuck
No.
I'll try.
We'll
You are a bold man.
that's
those
good.
are the
I'm glad to hear.
plugins for that. So I'm glad
Say,
that
say
those.
the date again. What was it?
It's late March.
Late March.
It's on Facebook. I'll put more notices out on our Facebook page,
Okay.
and as it gets closer, I'll plug it more.
Excellent.
Especially after we've had our actual first rehearsal.
Yeah, that'll be good.
It was supposed to happen. It probably is just going to get moved later this week. I'm hoping because again, of the snow, her message was, "Don't die, survive." We'll have a rehearsal soon.
I make no promises.
I make no promises.
Kinda, yeah.
That's my plugin for.
Still want to bitch about JD.
So bitch about what?
Save it. Save
I just
it.
get annoyed by his beatboxing on the mic. I saw the blooper reel for Star Trek, and the whole half of it is dedicated to him being like
What are you
on the
talking
mic.
about?
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
They have a blooper reel out on
haven't
Star
seen
Trek,
it.
and most of it is dedicated to him just tapping on the microphone. And
Is
it
it-
gets really old.
I
really
hate lame
fast.
blooper reels where they try to add sound effects and shit like that.
Okay.
It's really
And a
And
lot
where
of
they
it's
try
like-
to overplay an inside joke.
yeah.
Well, a lot of
They
it's
think it's hilarious,
Most
but-
of it's a music montage, not actual bloopers.
those
so we
those
see
are
them be
those are the
doop,
cop
doop,
out
doop.
fucking bloopers.
I
There's
agree.
nothing worse than a disappointing blooper reel.
Yeah.
The only funny part about that blooper reel is the scene where spoilers. It's Spock and Kirk walking into the ship from Spock's alternate timeline. He's
Right.
like, "You need to get into this; it'll work." Blah 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 blah. And for some reason, they're both doing accents.
What the hell?
So he's just like, "Jim, the statistics of this not working are 3.33%," and they're both just
That's
dying.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
And Kirk just goes, "It'll work." It's like, if I don't make it, tell her that I love her. And it's just them being goofy, and so that's the only decent blooper that lasts about 10 seconds.
You know, though, being through, learning about film production and everything like
Yes.
that. Every time I see that now, I think it'd be in the director like, you guys just wasted thousands of dollars. Right?
You guys are assholes. Not even that. They wasted thousands of dollars in addition to the thousands of dollars they're getting paid to do that.
There's this one blooper. I can't believe I'm saying in the fucking live-action Grinch movie, which I despise.
Seriously?
Oh my god, I love that movie.
love that
That is
movie.
Ron Howard's masterpiece.
But is that really Ron
That-
Howard?
I fucking love
That
that.
is
You
Ron
don't
Howard's
understand.
Oh
I
my
love
God.
that movie
I
so
don't think it's
much.
his
But there's this one
masterpiece, but I love that
blooper
movie.
where Jim Carrey he forgets his line.
Yeah.
And he bites off the makeup nose of one of
Yes.
the who's he's talking to. That is like 3 hours.
Yeah,
right there.
that's a
to
lot
put
of
that
money.
makeup on, not to mention the money wasted. I would be yelling. I mean, obviously you wouldn't actually yell at him, but I would want to yell at
I
him.
would yell at Jim Carrey.
Yes.
I
Because
would
that's
not yell
just,
at him.
that's
And
customer
he's doing it
service.
to make laugh and everything, but that is 3 hours that guy has to now endure to get that nose back on his fucking face.
I mean, really.
And that
Oh,
shit
yeah.
you don't realize when you see bloopers before.
Oh, yeah.
No one sees it.
The dad from Arrested Development is in that.
Yes, he is.
Jeffrey Tambor.
He's got
Jeffrey
the.
Tambor.
What's up?
Yeah, and he's really good.
We can all certainly unanimously agree that the Community bloopers are the best ever. Right?
Yeah.
They are.
Oh, no,
I like
that's
how
fair.
each disc has a blooper
The
reel.
Community gag reels are
That
Oh,
also
awesome.
adds to it. The fact that they have simply so many.
so many.
There's literally like each disc, or each season, assume it's 4 discs, maybe 5 discs.
Yeah.
Each one has a blooper.
Each one has a blooper reel. So
That's pretty
amongst
cool.
the 5 seasons, once they release it, that'll be fucking. I can't.
About
match.
20.
Oh man, How I Met Your Mother's got some pretty brilliant gag reels.
Do they?
too.
Oh yeah,
They're not as
in
extensive
the
as
couch and
Community's,
to the
but-
left always gets me.
Yeah.
That was great.
So-
Because that cast is so
yeah.
funny.
Well, that's the
remember that
thing.
one.
I feel like good bloopers usually come from good cast.
Yes.
They are born of good casts.
And I get the impression whenever they have the bullshit ones that there was no chemistry and that there was little fun being had
Kinda.
on set is usually the impression that I get. Cause
Exactly.
Yes.
that shit just naturally happens most
Yeah.
of the time.
Since we're talking about
Maybe
blooper
people were
reels.
just
Well, it's
professional
like
enough.
when we
that
make
didn't
fucking
happen.
movies together. How often do we just
Just start laughing. Just
Yeah.
end up
Oh,
doing
yeah.
stupid shit?
I literally wasted a good half hour of time when we were trying to shoot Andrew's fucking music video. I was too busy being a dick
It's
to shoot the fucking
but-
music
because
video.
we're all good friends, so naturally we have chemistry together.
Yeah.
so,
Right.
we end up just making stupid jokes and all this.
For
shit.
example,
When,
yeah.
when we ever get the Pokey Little Puppy put up on the YouTube,
Oh, God,
I am
yes.
going to do one of these days.
give it,
I-
give it to
I'll-
him tonight.
I've got a gag reel for that as well, which I can
Which
attach
is
to the
great.
video.
Give it to him
and it's
tonight.
probably better than the movie itself. So, but
I real quick want to mention this. Over break, I got to see. I actually wanted to see this. What is it? We Are the Millers.
Yeah.
we're the Millers.
Yeah. It has a great blooper reel at the end. Like they just because it's all of them in the in the RV. And one of the jokes is like, we're all pretty uptight. Let's put on some music, and it's like a really lame song, and then all of them start singing, and they grow closer as a fake family because that's the plot.
Of course.
Because they're a fit family.
They save it
witness
for the
protection
final.
or something
Yes,
like that.
it's pretty funny actually.
Right.
They saved this for the final blooper, and it's the funniest damn thing ever. He just goes, "Well, we put on some music to lighten up the mood," and it's the Friends theme song.
Jennifer
And
Aniston.
they're all in like the RV, like singing
Dancing
along,
and
and
shit.
Jennifer Aniston is like partially like, I can't believe they're doing this, and partially like crying because she loves them for doing this, and it's so damn funny. And they're like, "What do you think, Jennifer?" And she's like,
I'm 50
People,
years old.
it's like people never reference this TV show near me.
Never.
That
It's
reminds
pretty
me, on the subject of Jason Sudeikis,
Yes.
bloopers. I always remember the one from Horrible Bosses right at the
Yes.
end, where he's like, I'd like to bend her over the barrel and show her the 50 states.
Yeah.
He's like, is that a phrase?
Yeah,
oh
it's
yeah,
in
it was
the
in a
movie.
movie once. Well,
"No, it's not."
it is now. Turns the camera.
Straight at the
No, I love shit.
Yeah.
like that.
That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Good blooper.
Okay.
Forever.
Did you ever, before we get off the subject,
off.
did you ever see what is it? Our Idiot Stepbrother?
I saw that already,
No.
brother.
Yes, Our Idiot Brother. Thank you. It ends with like Paul Rudd. It's the one where Paul Rudd's like a hippie.
Yeah.
He's hanging out with like the kid playing his nephew, and it's a blooper, and they're hanging out, and the whole scene is them watching funny videos on YouTube.
Sure.
And at one moment, Paul Rudd's talking to him, he's like, "What's the funniest thing you've ever seen? Like, you ever seen Anchorman?" And the kid goes, "No, I haven't seen it." And Paul Rudd looks at the camera and goes, "What?"
Oh wait, hang on. I've got one more thing. We need to wrap this show up, but this is so funny.
flip this
and
fucking
I
table.
want to tell you guys about it because I don't think you guys know. So Paul Rudd, every
You
time
don't know
Paul
how
Rudd,
hard I have to pee. God damn it.
every time Paul Rudd goes on Conan, he plays the same prank on Conan O'Brien.
Really?
They every time you go on like one of those talk shows, they like show a clip from a movie you're promoting.
Yeah.
So he'll like be on the show promoting like Anchorman 2 or Idiot Brother or whatever it is, and he's been doing this for like 10 years to
Right.
And we're like, all right,
Since
set up this
before
clip. And
then.
he's like, all right, yeah, it's this clip from Anchorman 2 where I'm doing this, and this. Like, he sets it up like it's the actual clip, and then every time they cut to the clip, it's a scene from Mac and Me, where the fucking kid in the wheelchair rolls off the cliff. Every time he's on Conan, he plays the same clip. It always cuts back, and Conan's just like,
Just has his head in his hand. Just goddamn
I
it.
can't drop it now.
there's a video on YouTube that someone made
find
collecting
it.
most of them, and it's so funny to watch.
That's
I'll have to show it to you guys. Yeah, Paul Rudd's a funny dude.
That's
All right, man, right there.
I'm
Yeah.
actually really excited. The more and more I've been like thinking about it, the more excited I've been.
It is exciting.
In about 20
Paul
minutes,
Rudd
we
being
will
in
discuss
We can talk
Yes.
about
Yeah.
how excited we are on the new
Yes.
episode of Comics Coffee.
And we also have something about Wonder Woman that I want to discuss on there, which I'm sure you've already seen.
I've seen the rumor.
Exactly. Anyway,
The rumor
so,
is
you
she,
know,
what, gain muscles?
Shut up. Listen to Comics Coffee if you want to hear
Yeah,
about
that's
double
what you
chin.
need to
That's
do.
the rumor.
Promotion, Ian. Jeez.
Sorry.
So, all right. So yeah,
Call
we're
it
gonna
synergy.
with synergy.
It's synergy.
With an A. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here, just because I have a feeling that these shorter episodes, shorter by 20,
Will be easier for me to
will
edit
be
on
easier
YouTube.
for Mitch to edit on
And get
YouTube.
difficult because you're all like, this
Oh,
and this and this.
man.
Find a picture, Mitch.
Plus,
I-
and with Comics and Coffee
Yes,
and
we'll
movies
have-
and milkshakes and stuff, we'll have more than enough content.
Oh God, I hope it's
have to
movies and
call it that
milkshakes.
now.
You have to. You have no choice.
It's starting to grow on me. I
Yeah,
don't know.
exactly.
I kind of like it.
All right. So yeah,
see
we're
what
gonna,
happens. Keep
we'll
your eyes
wrap it
peeled.
up here. Again, as I said at the beginning of the fucking.
Beginning
God
of the
damn
what?
it, I'm drunk. All right.
Beginning of the
At
convoy.
the beginning of the podcast. I'm so sorry. This is very unprofessional.
Beginning of the convoy.
Beginning of the podcast, as I said, go to our YouTube page, which was, I believe, youtube.com/whip the
Whip
podcast.
the podcast.
WIP
WIP
the
the podcast.
Yeah, so
One word.
one word, all
We have
lowercase,
episode
no
1
spaces.
currently back up, remastered and Blu-ray version for you.
Yep, we added Jar Jar in too. So
He's there.
Never mind. Don't
And
do that.
Hayden Christensen, he's there in his all blue Force Ghost form.
It's hard to get a hold of him nowadays.
it
It's
is.
a lie.
He-
It's
he-
really easy to get a hold of him.
Exactly.
You say,
does-
what, is he busy
he does
being a
nothing.
shitty actor?
The best part is
Slide that-
Andrew
For my
loves-
money, he's one of the worst actors in the business.
which
I'm
is
gonna call
awesome
him and
because
we're gonna get him
Andrew
for an
really
episode.
loves Shattered Glass.
I do, and it's
Which
the
is
only
his, like,
movie I've
breakout
ever seen
role.
him in that I liked him in.
Yep.
Same here.
So anyway, we're gonna wrap it up here.
Find us on
as I
YouTube
said,
now.
keep an eye out for our YouTube page. We're gonna be updating that at some point.
And keep
With
an eye out for
episodes.
movies and milkshakes. Or
Yeah,
whatever the
that'll
fuck we
be-
end up calling it.
That'll be all over the fucking
Especially
Facebook
since the
page.
word season is in full swing at this point.
Exactly. So that'll probably start really
Yeah.
soon. And also keep an eye out, as always, for Comics and Coffee. Episode 4
Which
will be
we'll have a new
coming.
episode this week. We
Yes.
promise.
Yeah, we promise.
Swear to God.
And it's not even on me this time. It's on Andrew.
It is on me.
So if we fuck up,
We-
blame him.
Well, we had our friend Jeremy coming to town, and it was kind of hard to.
It was
Exactly.
nice.
Yeah.
We all
Exactly.
wanted
Shout out to
everybody,
Jeremy.
Shout out to Jeremy.
And
Also-
shout out to our good friend Brandon.
Yeah,
We
who
miss
hasn't
you.
been able to make it for 2 episodes now.
He's not dead, though, we promise.
He's not dead.
But if he was
we
here,
did not
he'd say-
bury him under our basement.
If he was here, I'm sure he'd say, shout out to Jake's mom.
Yes.
To be sure.
You
Shout
guys
out
are
to
fucking.
As
God
always.
damn it.
Our benefactor.
We're leaving now. We're done.
We're done. It's over.
Jesus Christ.
All right,
So yeah, starting on my left, we have,
Ian.
Andrew.
Mitch.
and as always, I'm Jake. But that's not the word I want.
You're
host.
bedazzler of this
Our
podcast.
belligerent host.
We are belligerent hosts. We will see you guys. I will see you guys shortly on Comics Coffee. We will see the rest of you next week on Work in Progress. Thanks for listening to episode 23.
Or 4, whatever.
Or 4. I don't remember. Have a wonderful night, everybody.
Drive safe.
Bye.